Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a topic that's, well, it's generating an incredible buzz across the rugby world. We're talking about a truly groundbreaking new rebel league that seems poised to redefine the very foundations of the sport we love. Our mission for this deep dive is to unpack all the intricate details of this venture, known as R360. We'll be drawing from the most recent reports and analyses. We're going to explore who the key players are behind it, its remarkably bold vision, and, maybe most crucially, its potential long-term impact on the global future of rugby. But look, before we dive into all that, just a quick but essential note, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. It's the best way to stay right on top of all the latest insights and developments in this dynamic world of rugby.
It really does feel like a pivotal moment, doesn't it? And R360 seems to embody that spirit of innovation and pretty audacious ambition. What's particularly compelling here, I think, is that this isn't just being pitched as another club competition. The reports are very clear. R360 is explicitly aiming to establish itself as a, quote, tier above club rugby. That phrasing alone immediately signals a different level of ambition, a completely new structural model, really, than anything we've seen before in professional rugby.
A tier above club rugby. Yeah, that's a powerful statement. Makes it clear this isn't some side project or just a minor tweak to the calendar. So if this is such a potentially transformative undertaking, who are the masterminds? Who are the individuals brave enough or maybe audacious enough to try and establish something like this? What do their backgrounds tell us about R360's strategy and, well, its chances of success?
All right, the architects behind it. It's a fascinating blend, actually. You've got rugby expertise, high-level business acumen, and even a track record in, let's say, sports disruption. So there's former England center Mike Tyndall. He brings significant on-field credibility, obviously, and a widely recognized public profile. Then you have Stuart Hooper, an executive from Bath. He offers those crucial insights from the operational side, the club rugby side. Mark Spores, an executive at Wasserman, that adds the formidable sports marketing, talent management, commercial deal-making angle. And perhaps the most intriguing one, especially given that disruptor tag, is John Lofhagen. He previously served as a lawyer for LIV Golf.
Ah, LIV Golf. Okay.
Exactly. His involvement certainly raises an eyebrow and immediately suggests a very specific, very bold, commercially driven approach, one that's clearly unafraid to challenge the status quo.
Yeah, the mention of LIV Golf and also the Indian Premier League, it instantly positions R360 not just as a new competition, but as a potential sporting disruptor for rugby. For our listeners who maybe didn't follow those stories super closely, what makes the LIV model or the IPL blueprint such powerful and, let's be honest, sometimes controversial examples, and how might R360 be applying those lessons?
That's a really good point, because understanding where they're drawing inspiration from helps us grasp their intent. LIV Golf, for instance, it famously challenged the established PGA Tour. They lured top players with these huge, guaranteed, multi-million-dollar contracts.
Yeah.
Created a whole parallel tour. It completely shifted power dynamics, revenue streams.
Big time.
Yeah. And similarly, the Indian Premier League just revolutionized cricket. It created this shorter, fast-paced, high-entertainment T20 format, combined global stars with local talent, generated immense commercial appeal, huge viewership. R360 seems to be drawing from both, really. This sort of financial muscle and player-centric approach maybe of LIV, combined with that condensed, high-octane global event model of the IPL. It's about creating a premium product, something distinct, highly marketable, and crucially financially attractive to players and investors.
So they're not just thinking big, they're literally borrowing from playbooks that have fundamentally changed other major sports. And they have a specific format in mind.
Precisely. The plan is for a Grand Prix-style series of events designed to be held right around the world. We're talking 8 men's teams and 4 women's teams, all competing in a really condensed season. Now, this format, it's a stark departure from your traditional long-form leagues. It aims to create these high-stakes, impactful tournaments where, every single match carries significant weight, rather than a drawn-out calendar where interest can sometimes dip. Think of it like a series of major self-contained events, each one a spectacle.
And the global ambition is just massive, isn't it? They're clearly not sticking to just the traditional rugby nations. Reports mention these huge, iconic venues like Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, the Nou Camp in Barcelona. I mean, these are legendary football arenas. Plus places like Sao Paulo, New York, Los Angeles. What does picking those kinds of diverse, prominent venues signal?
It definitely shows a clear intent, doesn't it? To appeal to new audiences, to aggressively expand rugby's global reach way beyond its current fan bases. Hosting events in places like Sao Paulo or New York, it isn't just about finding a stadium. It's about tapping into entirely new markets, showcasing rugby to populations who might not have had consistent exposure to top-tier games
We're
before.
taking the game to them.
Exactly. And using iconic venues like the Nou Camp or Tottenham. That speaks to a desire for spectacle, for grandeur, aiming to elevate the sport into a global entertainment product, not just a niche interest. It's a big statement of intent for mainstream appeal. And they're working towards a solid timeline, too. The target launch date is apparently September 2026.
September 2026. Okay.
Yeah, so that gives them a decent runway, about 2 years or so, to solidify plans and critically secure the talent.
Ah, yes, the talent. This is where R360 really starts to, well, command attention, doesn't it? They have this incredibly ambitious player recruitment goal, contracting 200 men's players. 200! That's a huge number of elite professional athletes.
It is. But what's truly remarkable here isn't just the scale of the ambition, it's the tangible progress they seem to have already made. The reports are indicating that R360 isn't just talking about these numbers. They've apparently already secured legally binding pre-contractual agreements with an astonishing 160 men's players.
160 already. Wow.
Yeah, that's 80% of their initial target apparently already committed. It shows serious momentum. And maybe more importantly, it shows a significant level of trust and commitment from the players themselves. They're essentially, staking part of their future on this new venture. It suggests they see not just a payday, but maybe a viable, exciting career path.
That's huge buy-in. And one of the biggest major coups they've reportedly pulled off involves the Springboks, right? Signing 4 highest-profile Springboks. Now, the reports don't name names, but they do clarify that double World Cup winner Cheslin Kolbe is not among them. Apparently, he plans to return to South Africa. Still, securing 4 top Springboks, especially after back-to-back World Cups, that's a massive statement.
Oh, absolutely. It sends a powerful message about the league's appeal to elite talent right at the very peak of the sport. And beyond these unnamed Springboks, R360 apparently has All Black star Ardie Savea on its radar, which indicates they're continuing to aim for that absolute top tier globally.
They're aiming high.
Definitely. We're also seeing reports of ex-All Blacks based outside New Zealand signing up, along with players from Argentina, Australia, the Pacific Islands. It really reflects that global ambition for the playing roster, drawing talent from all over.
And it's not just Southern Hemisphere players either, is it? We've heard that 10 players who've represented England at senior level over the past year have also signed these pre-contractual agreements. Plus, the explosive talent Louis Rees-Zammit is reportedly set to join, and 2 current British and Irish Lions are also being targeted.
It underscores the truly international scope. They're casting a very wide net.
And the financial backing is clearly immense. There was that report about one All Blacks star turning down a, $12 million offer.
Yeah, a $12 million offer reportedly turned down. Which, it just underscores the kind of financial power R360 is wielding.
That figure alone is staggering in rugby terms.
It really is. It's a stark illustration of the league's financial muscle. And critically, the potential for a genuine paradigm shift in player earnings within rugby. To put that $12 million figure in perspective, many top players in traditional leagues, even huge international stars, might earn a fraction of that over their entire career. This kind of offer doesn't just attract talent, it fundamentally revalues the worth of elite players. It forces traditional clubs, unions, everyone to rethink their financial models, player retention, maybe their whole economic structure.
It changes the game completely.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
It's not just about the money being offered, it's about power possibly shifting away from those traditional, often financially constrained structures towards this new, highly capitalized entity, which raises an interesting question. What's their overall recruitment strategy? Is it just about flashing cash at big names?
Good point. Is there more to it?
Well, the reports suggest they are prioritizing slightly older players, perhaps those seeking new challenges or maybe a different career path in their later professional years, maybe something less grueling week in, week out. However, they're also apparently keenly interested in luring rising stars. Names like Henry Pollock and Wallace Satiti have been mentioned.
So the next generation too.
Exactly. It points to a very strategic, balanced approach, building competitive teams for immediate impact and long-term sustainability, blending that experience with fresh, explosive talent.
So it's not just a Legends League or a retirement home, but also potentially a platform for emerging talent with presumably unprecedented financial security. That sounds like a smart move for building something sustainable. This dual approach, then, mixing experience and potential, it raises that vital question. How does a new disruptive league like R360 actually plan to fit into the existing, and let's face it, often rigid rugby ecosystem? Is it really a rebel league aiming to undermine everything, or are they trying for a different kind of integration?
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here is how R360 seems to have been very proactive in addressing that rebel tag.
Hmm.
Perhaps learning from the controversies we saw in golf, for example. They've really stressed their aim is to integrate with, rather than fully disrupt, existing international rugby. They've made some crucial commitments, reportedly, like ensuring its players remain available for internationals.
That's huge.
Absolutely non-negotiable for many fans and unions. And they also plan to, quote, preserve a gap in its calendar for future Lions tours.
Wow, okay, preserving the Lions Tour gap. That's a massive commitment.
It really is.
Yeah.
Especially the Lions Tour provision. It demonstrates, or at least signals, an understanding of the sport's deep traditions and the significance of those cornerstone events for the global calendar and, the fans.
It definitely signals they get how important international rugby and those big tours are, and it seems to be working to some extent. We're hearing about positive talks during the recent Lions Tour in Australia, and reports mention stated enthusiasm from governing bodies and players' unions about the R360 concept. But, connecting this to the bigger picture, is this genuine enthusiasm? Or perhaps a more cautious acceptance from the established bodies, maybe slightly out of fear of being left behind if this thing takes off?
That's a critical nuance, I think. While reports suggest positive engagement, it's highly likely that governing bodies are approaching this with a mix of reactions. Genuine interest in innovation, perhaps, but also a pragmatic recognition of R360's significant financial power and its clear appeal to players. They understand that just ignoring such a well-funded, ambitious venture could actually be detrimental to the sport's overall growth and talent retention in the long run.
So a bit of pragmatism mixed with the positive noises.
Probably. So while there might be enthusiasm for potential growth, there are undoubtedly underlying strategic considerations. Maybe an element of cautious acceptance, as you say. But look, this approach, if it's successful, could genuinely allow for the best of both worlds for you, the fan. You could get the excitement and innovation of this new, condensed, global competition.
Alongside the Six Nations, the Rugby Championship, the World Cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alongside the revered tradition of international rugby and events like the Lions Tours, it's potentially about expanding the overall pie for rugby rather than just fighting over the existing slices. And, to make sure you don't miss our ongoing analysis of how rugby's landscape is evolving, this is probably a good spot to remind you to subscribe to Rugby Obsession, wherever you get your podcasts.
Absolutely. What a moment for the sport this could be. R360 truly represents a significant and, potentially very positive shift for global rugby. It's clearly a bold vision, backed by serious interest, serious investment, and it's aiming for this new form of high-stakes, globally minded competition that could captivate existing fans and maybe bring in whole new audiences, which makes this a fantastic time to reiterate our call. Don't miss a single deep dive into the world of rugby. Subscribe to Rugby Obsession right now. And for you, our listener, we really want to hear your thoughts on this. What stands out to you most about R360? Do you see this as the exciting future of professional rugby? Or maybe you have reservations. How do you think it will change the game? For players, their careers, their opportunities. And for us fans, how we engage with the sport. We genuinely want to hear your opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. Your perspective is what makes these discussions so valuable. It really enriches the whole conversation around where rugby is heading.
Definitely. So maybe to leave you with a final thought to mull over, just imagine the possibilities here. New rivalries that might cut across traditional club or national boundaries, entirely new fan experiences driven by these global Grand Prix style events, and maybe a whole new generation of global rugby stars emerging on this high-octane, condensed, worldwide platform. It really does feel like a thrilling, possibly transformative time for the sport. So once again, please subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss out on any of our in-depth discussions into the topics that matter most to you. Thank you for listening to this Rugby Obsession deep dive, and we look forward to listening to our next episode.